You can learn basically all isometric movement just going 30 seconds a day. Of course, it depends on your level. You are going to go for attempts. For example, your first attempt should be 5 seconds. Then a next attempt on a handstand, for example, will be 2 seconds. So you have 7 seconds at all, and you're going to continue until you reach 30 seconds. That's the rule. It's pretty basic but really effective and important. You can learn planche by that. I already have some students that have a really good experience with this method, so definitely a good one.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so you do a hold, and whatever that hold is, the next set you add it up, so you keep increasing the total time you've held that skill. So you go 5 seconds. Obviously you'll get more tired, but you keep trying to build up the volume until you have like 30 seconds, for example, total.
You know, and focusing on the form at the same time. That's why they are 30 seconds. You are focusing on the form, and and there's no set. They are only attempts. And maybe it will be easier for beginners to look at the seconds as reps. So if you have 5 seconds, this is 5 reps. You can think about it.
Okay, would you still do it for, let's say someone is learning straddle planche, and let's say they have 3 seconds, that's their max. So the first set they hold 3 seconds, but then after that they go 2 and 1. Do they still doing just like one hold until they get 30? They keep going even if it's like 1 second hold.
But really try to make like maybe 10 seconds rest maximum between the attempts, and I think everything should be fine, definitely.
Okay. What? So they do one hold, let's say it's 3 seconds, they rest 10 seconds, then they go again, rest 10 seconds, go again.
10 minutes.
Oh, 10 minutes. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, they're gonna feel like they'll burn out quick. Okay, so 10 minutes. Okay, but they still go even if it's like second hold or less. They still keep going until
still going. But you should have a 3 seconds of exercise already.
Okay.
So
minimum, do that.
Minimum, the decent form, I would say, because it's impossible to learn it with the best form without getting through a little bit decent form. I would say even bad form.
Okay. Is that pretty much the whole workout? Is that the whole workout, or do they do a little bit? They still do more after it?
For beginners, the workout should be structured really well prepared, because when you are a beginner, you are pretty weak. Your nervous system isn't ready for the skills, so definitely you should go for proper warm-up, dynamics movements after like rotations, shoulder rotations, wrist. Then you can move with a little bit of basics, I would say, like 10 dips, 10 pull-ups, just to warm the body well. But this is only example. Then if you already have the handstand, definitely start with the handstand. If you are an athlete, calisthenics athlete, and you already have the handstand and you are trying to learn the planche, you should every time warming up with the handstand, just because the shoulder is getting really good warmed up with the handstand, the wrists as well. This will definitely go to your warm-up. And after your attempts, there you should go for a little bit conditioning after the session, a little bit conditioning, and then ending with stretch, definitely, and a little bit of mobility.
Okay, to talk about that a little bit more, conditioning. So what would be the conditioning after the main workout? So is that more core? Is that more like strengthening for the arms, the biceps, smaller muscle groups? What's for the conditioning?
All of them. So there's a lot of exercise with resistance band, especially I really like the dumbbells work, which is going on the floor and lifting dumbbells, but this is only conditioning. It can be more like 3 sets, no more. A lot of resistance band exercise should be added, like military press with resistance band at the warm-up, by the way. At the warm-up it should be really good with a lighter band for 20 reps. I always recommend that. This is really good for warm-up. And about the conditioning, you can add a little bit more, like if you are going for the planche, you can go for again 20 dips, but with protraction. When you are aiming for the planche, not for endurance, you definitely should be specific and go with the protraction of the dips, retraction at the pull-ups.
That makes sense. Okay, so that's some of the conditioning work, that they can use after the main workout. You already said for you don't really have a training structure. You're trying, new things. Experimenting. For more advanced people, let's say more like they're learning full planche, or they're getting really strong with straddle and they're doing straddle push-ups and they're trying to do a few combinations. What should those kinds of people do? Same thing, the warm-up, workout, conditioning, mobility and stretching, or is it a little bit different with the combos?
Definitely they should go for the combinations, especially for the planche. Once again, I learned these things from Dido, the owner of the legendary gym.
Nice.
He said like that, and he is 100% right. He said that the best combination for planche is push-up, press, hold, just because you already have eccentric, isometric, and concentric movements. So basically the best one.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do it with resistance bands as well.
In that order is best as well. So not like hold, press, and then push up. In that order is best. So when should someone start doing combinations? Because this is a question I get a lot as well from different people. They're like, okay, I have straddle planche. I can do straddle push-ups and straddle presses. I can't really full planche yet. Should I do more straddle combos, or should I focus on like my full planche and get the full planche? And should I spend more time on that? In your opinion, what they should do?
I spent 2 years of going for straddle combinations to increase my full planche. I would say it's pointless. If you are going for the full planche, of course you already have the straddle planche. Just go for working on your full planche. That's how you are going to get the full planche. Don't focus on straddles.
I agree. I think obviously like you can increase your strength by pressing and stuff. You can get. I think of combinations. Yeah, it's increasing my strength endurance, but not necessarily can move me on to the next new skill. Because I had someone as well recently who asked me, okay, like I was told if I do 20 or 15 straddle planche presses, I'll be able to full planche for free. And I was like, it's going to take you a long time.
It's a 15 to 20.
Yeah, it's 20 presses, and it's a different skill. It's a different skill. It's going to take you a long time anyway. Like in that time, you could focus on full planche and probably get it faster than getting 20 like straddle presses. I think you're already strong enough to work on full. What is good form in the planche for you? What are your criteria for that's a good planche?
The whole body tighten with protraction and pointed toes. That's the perfect execution. A lot of people, they don't go for tightening their lower body part, but this is something really important in planche, especially just because when you are relaxed on your legs, definitely they can go a little bit more up, and when they go a little bit up, you will instantly go for retraction. Definitely try to push your hips down and really tighten the whole body.
Yeah, I notice a big thing is like when you're moving from advanced tackle learning straddle, people first really struggle with the legs because, you know, in the tuck variations, you're not really focusing on the legs, on the lower body so much. But then once you get to straddle and full, then you really need to focus on keeping the legs straight, squeezing the glutes, all these things that you didn't do before. And you're thinking about the upper body, so it is difficult.
Definitely, yeah. And one more thing about when you are trying to learn the full planche, because it's really hard to get from straddle to full planche. One important rule, just try it on a little bit higher parallels. You can keep the legs a little bit lower. So it's better when the legs are lower than higher, because you're keeping this protraction. The main thing in planche is protraction. And when you have protraction, you can allow to go a little bit lower. Just because when you increase the hold, the legs will go up by themselves. That's how center of mass is working. When you are going to lean, some people definitely will understand. When you are leaning a little bit more, you are getting to the point when the legs are getting up by themselves. You are not lifting them up. So that's the point. When you are really focused on lifting your legs, they will go higher. So definitely don't think to lift your legs, think about traction and tighten your whole body.
Very, very true. Because my first planche, or like, it wasn't like I didn't really class it as a planche, but when I first got my feet off the floor with my legs together, I would just hold it low. That was like my first one where I was like, okay, like I'm actually progressing from straddle closer to full. Yeah, I just held low. I did this on the floor on my hands, but yeah, would it be way easier on like to use your mid-sized bar, and then you have a bit more time to think about squeezing, because I was still bent in the hips, but my feet were low, but I was still a little bit bent. I wasn't perfectly straight because I was doing it on the floor.
Yeah, that rooftop form.
Yeah. So my hips went high above my shoulders, but I was still bent but low. But I progressed from there, and obviously, use the same thing. Start using parallettes, which definitely helps. Okay, so we know protraction the most important thing, and thinking of the tight lower body, pointed toes. I guess so. From that, if we know what's good forms.